Hello everyone. I am Brian with ZimCo Survival, and today I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to make one of my favorite fire starters, which are the cotton rounds soaked in petroleum jelly and wax. Now, I don't claim credit for creating these. These have been around for a very long time. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the mix that I use, that I find works the best, and how to actually do it. Now, it's a pretty simple process. You only really need 3 ingredients. So I'll be right back, and I will go ahead and get started with you guys and show you guys exactly how to make them the way I do. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. Now, I like to use coals because it gives me a more steady heat, and I can actually use the coals to make a large quantity of these fire starters. But for this demonstration, we're just going to make enough to make it probably 5. So the mix is technically 1 tea light candle, which is 1 tablespoon of paraffin wax once it's melted, and 1 tablespoon of petroleum jelly. Now, here's the tea light. Here's the petroleum jelly. I just bought the cheap stuff. And you're gonna need the cotton rounds. Alright? This 100 cotton rounds turned into these fire starters is going to cost probably $10. So it costs about 10 cents per completed fire starter, which is not bad. Now, basically, in order to get the tea light out, what you're going to do is you're just going to flip it upside down, shake it a little bit. This one is stuck, so let me grab the wick. There we go. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out. There we go. Alright. Then you're just going to take the wick and you're going to push through and remove the wick from the tea light. And there you have it. 1 tea light is about 1 tablespoon worth of paraffin wax. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to toss it into our little pot and we're going to let it melt. Once that's done, I'll be right back and I will show you guys the petroleum jelly portion, and we'll discuss a little bit more about the details of these fire starters. Be right back. Alright, we're back and the wax is completely melted. It took about 5 minutes. So it's probably the longest part of this whole process is waiting for the paraffin to melt. Now what I'm going to do is I have my petroleum jelly here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and put 2 heaping teaspoons, which tends to equal about a tablespoon in here. Alright? So there's 1. And there's 2. Now we'll go ahead and we'll let that melt. And I will be back when it's time to dip the cotton rounds in there. Be right back. Alright, and we're back. All of the petroleum jelly has melted. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take and we're going to mix it up a little bit to ensure that we don't have layers. We want to make sure the wax and the petroleum jelly are all mixed together. Alright. Now for this part, you're going to dip the cotton rounds inside of the wax petroleum mixture. You can use needle nose pliers, tweezers, whatever you might want, but I'm just going to use my fingers for this. This is one of the reasons I don't actually heat mine up to a boiling temperature, because I like to use my fingers for dipping them. Basically, you're just going to dip them in just like this, leave a little room at the top, let the excess wax drain, and then put it over on a piece of aluminum foil. Now you're going to let these sit for about 20 minutes and let them harden up. Now after I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and explain why I use these, why I decided to go with this instead of cotton balls, and we'll go ahead and show you how long they burn. Alright, so let me go ahead and finish dipping these. I'll be right back. And we're back. Welcome to the stump where I do all of my fire testing. Now, The cotton round has been sitting for around 20 minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I actually use these. Now you'll probably get about a 7 to 9 minute burn time out of it. It just depends on how much paraffin the cotton round is soaked up. So basically the way I use these is I just take the tip of my knife and I'll fluff up the very center, about the size of a quarter. Get that nice fluff up there. Alright, and now we'll go ahead and try to strike it. Now this ferro rod is pretty old, so it throws good sparks, but we'll see. There we are. And it's lit. So let me go ahead and zoom in on this, and I will start the timer, and we'll see how long this burns for. Be right back. And welcome back. We have officially hit, let's see if I can show it to you here. We have officially hit the 4-minute mark. And it's still going strong, so we're going to see how long this burns. Now, like I said in my testing, it's typically burned for around 7 to 9 minutes. So we'll see how long this one does. Be right back. Alright, and we're back. Looks like this one's only going to burn for around 5 minutes. Probably because the wind is pretty strong. As you noticed in before, and there it goes, it just went out. The wind did play a factor in how long this thing is burned. In my other testing, the wind wasn't quite as bad as it was today. But I still think 5 minutes is a pretty good burn time for a little cotton round. So let me go ahead and take you guys back to the chair now that the test is over. And I will talk to you guys some more about it. And I am back. Now, I don't know if you guys were able to see, but it burned pretty well. I find the wind doesn't really affect those cotton rounds quite as much because of the paraffin as, say, a cotton ball, which just pretty much, in my experience, just causes the cotton ball to completely burn out very, very quickly if the wind is too bad. And the paraffin really helps to extend that flame even in windy conditions. This particular one burned for about 5 minutes. Like I said, the wind was really bad, and I hope that you were able to see that during the testing, how the flame was just blowing almost horizontally across the stump. Now, in my experience with these cotton rounds, let me grab one here for you. They cost about 10 cents each to make, so they're pretty cheap as far as the tinder goes. Now, I prefer using the cotton rounds over cotton balls because I tend to get a better burn time off of these than I do out of cotton balls, because these are kind of compressed and they just hold more paraffin and petroleum mix. So I tend to get a much better burn time out of these, and I recommend that you guys use these instead of cotton balls too. Now, you can, of course, always use a you know, any kind of wax you want, whether it's paraffin or beeswax or whatever the case may be. You can also do the same thing by melting down some pine resin, basically pine pitch, and adding some beeswax to it. It'll give you pretty much the exact same thing, but with only natural materials. So if that's something you want to look into, same mix ratio, 1 tablespoon of pine pitch to 1 tablespoon of beeswax. Now, I personally really like these things, and I've replaced all of the cotton balls that I used to carry with these because they are less messy, they give a better burn time, and in my experience they're more waterproof than a cotton ball. If you soak a petroleum cotton ball, say you were doing a river crossing and the water got into your petroleum cotton balls, in my experience they will not light for a while until they've completely dried out. Where these things, I just shake them off and they light right away. So I find there are some benefits to the cotton rounds other than just burn time. They really do help with the waterproofing nature of it. The ingredients are very simple. Like I said, it's really cheap. A package of 100 cotton rounds, turning them all into Firestarters, the whole 100, will cost you $10. Basically, you need 2 big jars of petroleum jelly, one 50-pack of the tea light candles, and one pack of 100 cotton rounds. $10, you get 100 fire starters. So in my opinion, that's about as cheap as the petroleum cotton balls are. Maybe not as cheap, but close enough in my opinion. And these give you a lot more benefits, so in my opinion, they're worth the additional price. But there you go. It's a really simple, easy thing to do. Just to go over it one more time with you guys before I let you go. One tea light is 1 tablespoon's worth of liquid paraffin. So 1 tea light to 1 tablespoon of petroleum jelly. Now I like to use a teaspoon because that's what I have that's disposable, that I'm not going to get yelled at by my wife for ruining. So 2 heaping teaspoons, same as a tablespoon to me. So that's what I use. Takes about 10 minutes to make them. Now I got 9 of these with 1 tea light and 1 tablespoon of petroleum jelly. So you know, it's a really simple, easy thing to do. It took me about 10 minutes from start to finish. So there you have it. In my opinion, those are better than cotton balls. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Have a great night. Bye-bye.